growing up, I was always taught that I had two strikes against me. One was that I was Black, and the second was that I was a woman. So I would love for them to grow up in a world where they didn't have two strikes against them, and where they could just rest in being who they are and feel valued and accepted for just being human beings, and not feel less than because of the color of their skin or their gender.
During my daughter's lifetime, I would like to see change through more tolerance and understanding and kindness to the differences between all of us. And I'd like to see the elimination of stereotypes that women carry the burden of. That will be progress.
Challenges facing women today? Well, for me, I would have to say one of our biggest challenges is never feeling like we're doing enough, like we're always falling short, or feeling like we have to prove ourselves every single day. Well, that's just not the case anymore. We are doing enough. We are bending over backwards to really prove ourselves, and I think women out there just need to acknowledge everything amazing that they're doing right now, and to not give in to that guilt that you're never doing enough, because you are.
So what is the biggest challenge that I face as a woman today? And I would for sure say being a mom, juggling motherhood and working full time definitely keeps me on my toes.
My family tree is filled with a lot of women. I have a sister, 8 nieces, and a daughter of my own. We support each other and lift each other up with love and appreciation of our uniqueness, and we're always there for one another, even if thousands of miles away. So it's been amazing to be able to be a role model in their lives as well.
I believe a balanced world is a better world. We need to build each other up, not tear each other down. I like to celebrate achievements, big or small, it doesn't matter. And most importantly, just appreciate one another. Women disqualifying themselves because the traditional stereotype against them drags them down. So they don't even have the confidence that says, I can do this. As poet Amanda Gorman said, it is how our power empowers others that makes women's voices so vital. I encourage everyone to continue to have a voice and to be a voice.
The question made me think of a poem from one of my favorite women poets. Her name's Rupi Kaur, and the poem goes, I stand on the sacrifices of a million women before me, thinking what can I do to make this mountain taller so that the women after me can see further. And that, I think, to me is what supporting other women means, is what can you do to build someone else up so that they are able to achieve their potential. And then by doing that, you are also being a better woman, being a better friend, being a better supporter, by helping everyone around you be their best selves. So.
An inspirational woman that I look up to is Tia Marie Torres. She is not somebody that I know personally, but she's somebody that I follow very closely. She runs Villalobos Dog Rescue, which is the largest pit bull rescue in the United States. And through that rescue, she also provides employment and a stable transition to parolees who are looking to return to society. She advocates for those who don't have a voice. She's got a lot of grit, and she isn't afraid to get her hands dirty. She's a mother, a businesswoman. She served in the Army. She rescues dogs, and she gives parolees a second chance. And in my opinion, it doesn't get much more inspirational than that. And I think she's setting a great example for all women and girls, showing us that you really can do it all.
Privilege of going to see Oprah Winfrey speak at a live event before COVID struck last year. And I can honestly say it was the most truly inspiring event I've ever been to. Not only is she one of the most famous talk show hosts out there in the world, she's also donated over $400 million of her own money to ensure women and girls can get the best education possible. She was also a driving force in the Child Protection Act of 1994. Oprah is an example of someone who literally came from nothing and has become a badass woman in leadership today. It's truly inspiring.
Favorite female historical figure of all time is Joan of Arc. Maybe a little cliche, but I have a good reason for it. So she was actually a war hero back before women could even really be war heroes. She helped France in the 100 Years' War against England. And then she was subsequently burned at the stake for being a witch, which essentially just meant that she was a strong, intelligent, powerful woman who helped men do and accomplish things that they couldn't necessarily do or accomplish on their own. So she is the original badass in my opinion. Even when I was 14 years old going through Catholic confirmation, I actually decided that I wanted her to be my patron saint. And I have a picture of her hanging in my bedroom at all times to remind me of what women can do.
Now, as an adult, I really admire with women who've created their own businesses and brands and found their voices on digital platforms. And I think that's so amazing that technology has really enabled women to create their own work from home. And I love that.
The most inspirational and influential woman in my life is my mother. She taught me to be strong and independent, yet respectful of others. She taught me not to be intimidated because of my gender, whether it was in sports, business, or anything that I wanted to achieve in life. She has shaped my life, and for that, I will always be a better person.
And then my favorite women's group are the suffragettes for advocating for the women's right to vote, because without their efforts, we probably wouldn't have had the 19th Amendment passed. So super grateful for all of these women and their achievements.
Group of women that I'm thankful for, and it is all of the women in the event community. The event community is primarily women, and it's just so inspiring to see such a clear career path that was made by all of the women before me. So I'm excited to continue growing within this community.
Women who inspire me the most are definitely the women of history. Our sisters who have been pioneering this movement for hundreds of years, making it okay in 2021 for women to be CEOs, for us to have the first female woman vice president of the greatest country in the world. So it's those women who were so courageous and strong enough to speak up in a time and a culture where it wasn't okay to have a voice as a woman. So thank you to all those women out there, because women are here, right? We're present, we're loud, and we are just gonna keep getting louder.